6:30, should we begin?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
You can start beginning now.
Teamwork makes a dream work. A very pleasant evening to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome you, dear parents, to the orientation program for grade 9 for the academic year 2023-24. This evening, we have gathered on this online platform to speak about teamwork at ISWK, the benevolent school management committee members who believe in giving the best to the student community. The principal, vice principal, staff, and you, dear parents, will work hand in hand this year to make our dream work, which is to see our students scaling greater heights. I take this opportunity to welcome our principal, Mr. D.N. Rao, vice principal, Mr. Jayaprakash Pillai, heads of various departments, coordinators, staff, and our dear students of grade 9. First off, hearty congratulations to you students for successfully completing the previous academic year in spite of all the challenges. A big thank you, dear parents, for always being with your wards and for supporting us in all our endeavors. We believe in having a robust partnership with you to ensure that our children achieve their highest potential, for which a variety of platforms is provided by the school. Team ISWK stands tall in making incremental modifications to achieve phenomenal results in scholastic and co-scholastic domains, ensuring to scaffold our students' learning graph at every step. We provide an array of age-appropriate, enterprising, and innovative activities which are aligned with the guidelines laid down by CBSE to channelize the learning of the young minds. So, without further ado, allow me to invite Mr. JP, our very passionate vice principal, who goes beyond the call of duty to guide the teachers and mentor the students towards achieving a creative, holistic, and futuristic education program. He shall walk you through the school policies and ideologies, discipline procedure, teaching methodologies, CBSE guidelines, assessment patterns, and the new initiatives undertaken by the school this year. Over to you, sir. Dear parents, you're requested to post your queries, if any, in the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Roshni. Good evening, respected principal, all my colleagues, dear parents, dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to this orientation program. We, ISWK, strongly believe, under the guidance of our principal, 3 M's: monitor, measure, mentor. This is our mantra for success. Let us go through the presentation by myself and all the other head of the departments, and you will come to know what are the latest changes in CBSE. So CBSE is coming with a lot of changes, and even NCERT is coming up a lot of changes. And we want to orient students, parents, and ourselves. That means we teachers to bring the best in our students. We will start with my presentation. This ISWK, Anuma, we can start. ISWK is the best or most chosen school by most of the students. You can see that the ISWK is at the horizon with a lot of greenery, with a lot of rainbow. It is being attracted by students and parents. Let us see why the students are being attracted by ISWK and what process we give to give the output. Let us see what is at ISWK. So for this, we need a 360-degree monitoring, measuring, and mentoring. One third part will come from us teachers, 1/3 part will come from you parents, and the 1/3 will come from students. So this particular orientation is to get that 1/3 from the parents. So let us work together to bring the best in our students. At ISWK, what all we have? If you see, we have academic subjects, and we have clubs, we have discipline procedure, and we have a physical education, ISWK Sports Academy, and we have art, music, dance, and we have a strong able department. So these are the main wings of ISWK. We will go through each in detail, and these areas what offer in ISWK. Let us go. We always believe in the natural growth of the student. We allow the students to grow naturally, academically, as well as achieve skill that is important to make them as the universal citizen. We want our students to survive in any situation they launch or they go into in the future. So let us go into the academic area. What are the academic area? In the academic area to monitor, these are the different head of the departments. You might be knowing all of them. We have an able department head, commerce department head, computer science department head, English department, then Hindi, Arabic, Sanskrit, mathematics department, social science department, science and French, and PE department. These are the various head of the department, those who monitor, measure, and mentor their own department work as academic as well as activity work. And we have coordinators too to coordinate different areas. Mrs. Agnes Arana and Mr. Kailash Patru are the activity coordinators. Mr. Matthew Philip, Malayalam, Vikas, ISWK Sports Academy, that's a unique feature of Indian School Wadi Kabir, and Vanida Shingare is the PE coordinator. Yes, ma'am. And we have class teachers, you know all of them. The students might be knowing. Still, we inform you, the parents might be not knowing. 9A Kanchanlata ma'am, 9B Anuani, 9C Anantita, 9D Sumati madam, 9E Gurjinder madam, then 9 of Gerard Thomas, 9G Arsha, 9H Paul Dominic, and 9I Mr. Shanwas. These are the class teachers, those who are looking after the students. Then we have the academic in detail. And we have 5 specific subjects we have that each HOD will tell you. One is the English, followed by a second language. We offer 3 languages. Out of that, 1 they have to choose compulsory, 9 and 10 they have to continue. Then 3 core subjects, science, social science, and mathematics. This year, that is, we are going in line with the CBSE instruction. We introduce artificial intelligence as a compulsory 6th subject to class 9 students. So they will be writing an examination in this artificial intelligence. So we want our students to be familiar with what are the technologies happening in and around us and the world. So we are in line with CBSE's instruction. We immediately started the artificial intelligence in class 6 to 10, class 9 and 10 as a compulsory 6th subject. Our head of the Department of ICT will give you more details of the syllabus of artificial intelligence and all that. Then, if you look at the CBSE website, this is the academic website. If you look there, there is curriculum. That is a curriculum we are following, as well as there are sample question papers. We will CBSE is updating curriculum and sample question paper from you get. If you go to CBSE website under academic, you will get these 2 icons. That is a curriculum. That curriculum we are following. CBSE every year update their curriculum, and you can see that n number of subdomains are there about SAFL, about the sports, about the SQA. All the informations are there on that CBSE website. So we are following exactly what CBSE requires. Yes, ma'am. And for every subject, we have an internal assessment. Except artificial intelligence, all the other subjects have 20 marks internal assessment, 80 marks theory paper. This 20 marks internal assessments is coming from different area: portfolio, subject enrichment activity, art integrated learning. That's a new initiative from CBSE, periodic assessments, multiple assessment, that each HOD will tell you what are this particular area in their subjects. So any subject, all the 5 subjects other than artificial intelligence, we have a 20 marks internal assessment. This 20 plus 80 for the final exam will be considered out of 100. Next slide, ma'am. And we have for the midterm as well as final examination. We are not telling about the upcoming examination. The upcoming examination is a very small examination, but whenever it is an 80-mark paper, the full syllabus, that is 3-hour paper, in that we will have objective type questions, subjective type questions. This is one of the major change CBSE are saying. In all the subjective type questions, there will be case study questions, competency based questions, and testing their analytical thinking skills. That's very important. But we will be giving training for them right from the beginning. We will be giving updates, worksheet on these type of questions in all the subjects. And this is the grading system we follow. If a student coming under 90 to 100, 91 to 100, we give A1. This is already mentioned in our report card. This is the grading system that we follow in scholastic area. See, we introduce for after every exam, the students' achievement in academic we are recognizing. We are recognizing their achievement. Top 4 position, we are giving them badges after every written examination. A diamond badge, a gold badge, a silver badge, as well as a bronze badge. This is given to each and every section. And we have academic achievement prize distribution also. That is a Matardas Kimji Memorial Award distribution also is there later. That is the 3 position among the section, all the section. But this is an achievement for every section. That means 9A 4 students will be getting, 9B 4 students will be getting, 9C 4 students will be getting. But if the prizes or if the position are shared, all of them will get. Suppose 5 students get first position, all the 5 students will get diamond badge. So this is a recognition for their achievement in academic. Yes, ma'am. And this is our exam pattern. We already distributed the date sheet for our upcoming examination, which start from 21st May to 1st June. Then we have a summer break. When we come back, we have a midterm exam in 17th September onwards. Then we have a post-midterm exam. This midterm, post-midterm, and the final exam all will be out of 80. And the final examination is from 18th February. And we start our 10th standard session very early. Early March we start, or the mid-March we start class 10. Because we wanted to concentrate more for class 10 board examination syllabus. That's why. That doesn't mean that we will rush. We have a Pakka planning, and our final year plan is put on the website. We have a pedagogical plan. Everything we plan, but we finish their syllabus a little early to concentrate more on their upcoming, that's the class 10 syllabus. So this is the exam pattern. And bell timing, already we know this last year end onwards, we changed our bell timing to 1:45. The students can leave by 1:45 instead of 2:20. So they get almost 35 minutes early dispersal. So we reduced 1 break. They have only 2 breaks. At both the break, the canteen will be open and they can use the canteen. But we request the students to report before 7:10. That's one of the observation. Late coming is there, but please, parents, send them by 7 o'clock to the school campus so that we can start straight away 7:10 with the morning assembly procedure. Yes, ma'am. And let us go to the next one. This is the academic area, and we have clubs. That's a unique feature of Indian School Wadi Kabir. Our students will be participating in our one of the best clubs. We insist the students to be a member of any one of this club. These are the important clubs. Eco clubs. If you visit the school, you can see that what the Eco club is doing. The another one is the business and entrepreneurship club. They give a lot of opportunity for taking part in the entrepreneurship areas. Then we have a Gavel club, which give them the public speaking skills. Then we have a Model United Nations, Science and Innovation Club. This is an initiative. If you look at the photos, you can see that yesterday also our students received 2 awards. The same student that who received now, that is Shashwant, and another boy got National Astronomical Quiz Topper. So that is one of the initiative of our Science and Innovation Club, and we conduct a lot of workshop. You can see that one of the scientists from India has come. Then we have a Wadi Kabir Model United Nation that the department head will give you. Can go ahead, ma'am. Wadi Kabir Model United Nation Club is there. Then we have IT Club. to identify the IT talent in the students. N number of competitions are conducted. That also our respective head of the department will explain to you. And we have the quiz club. We can see that last time we won the Times of Oman Quiz Senior. We won. Indian School Wadi Kabir has won. And we won a lot of laurels in the quiz competition too. So we have a strong quiz club. And let us go to the next one. We have art, music, dance. Every student is supposed to participate in art, music, dance. They have to choose. We have a strong art department, we have a strong music department, and we have a strong dance department. You can see that how talented our students are, how creative they are to develop their talents in art, music, and dance. So it is compulsory that they have to take part in art, music, and dance. So this is one of the area we give them n number of opportunity to develop their skills. In this co-scholastic activities, we allow the students to participate. Depends on their participation, they get grades. And we have a work education. Now we have artificial intelligence introduced. These are the co-scholastic areas, health and physical education. So all these areas they have to participate. Then they will get a better grade. And this is the grading system for co-scholastic. There is a 5-point grade. If they participate and produce very good achievement, they get A, then followed by B, C, D, etc. Yes, ma'am. Then let us go to the ABLE department. Another area. ABLE department is a strong area. From the name itself, we can see that they advise, believe, learn, and elevate. That a separate department is there for counseling and special education department, that the respective department will give you the details. The next area we are having is physical education. Here, we are the only school giving training for 17 games as ISWK Sports Academy. We insist our students to participate at least in 2 games. So we, as a school, insist the parents, let the students go in the evening to the sports academy for this coaching, so that the skill will be developed. What skill they get in the sports field is entirely different from the skill that they get from the classroom. So if we incorporate all these, our students will flourish, establish like anything. That's what in the beginning I said, we allow the natural growth of the students, but if there are problems, we have the discipline procedure also to weed. That means to guide them. That's what we said, the mentor them in the correct direction. We have 3 types of cards like what we give for the football matches. Depends on the area of indiscipline they are involved. This is for mentoring them, correcting them. It's not a punishment. We give this card. If they improve, we are given enough warning, enough circular, and which is clearly mentioned in the school almanac. So these cards are given. But one area we have to think, once we issue the card, we give them 3 months at least to improve. If they improve, we withdraw that card. But we won't allow them to participate in any of the activities that we conduct. So they should be very careful, so that they should not involve in any kind of all this activity. Yes, ma'am. It's a blue card. It's an yellow card. Depends on the severity of the indiscipline they involve. We get less number of indiscipline cases, but we have to take precaution as a school so that the students won't involve in all these kind of activities. Yes. So these are the areas we give. The whole purpose of our ISWK education is turn mirrors into windows. So let us work together to make, yes ma'am, next one, to make the teachers, students and parents, let us work together to make a better learning environment in the school, and we want our students to be a global citizen. So with this process, like what is APJ, our ex-president, said, let us sacrifice our today so that our children have a better tomorrow. Sacrifice means we are sacrificing, let the parents also sacrifice, so that the other 1/3 plus 1/3 will give the best to the other 1/3, so the students will be the best in their life. So with this process, we push the children into the real world. You can see that. you can see that now that hill has become dry. So the process is over. So we are pushing the students into the real world to swim against the current or swim along with the current so that they will be a global citizen. So parents, let us work together to bring the best in students. Thank you, dear parents, dear students. And now I invite ABLE team representative, Ms. Neha, to continue with the procedure.
A very good evening to all. And on behalf of Team ABLE, I, Neha Susan Cherian, will be talking to you about the different services we provide from the ABLE department. Like you can all see, ABLE department stands for Advise, Believe, Learn, and Elevate. And in this point of time, before we move into the services that are being provided, I would first like to talk that, next slide, ma'am. I would first like to mention that we believe all our students. We believe that our students have the ability to be successful in school. Be it, okay, a child may not be very good at academics, but maybe in something else, extracurriculars or special talent that they have. But it is important for us as parents and teachers to support them and push them to come ahead with whatever they are good at. It is important for us to understand that each of our children are unique. We cannot expect every child to get the first rank. So each child is unique and are capable of being successful with their own personal strengths and talents. And it is important for us to give that safe environment, an academic environment that supports and enhances their personal growth. Talking about the major areas that come under ABLE, we have behavioral counseling, academic counseling, career counseling, and special education. Now, before I move into each of these areas, I would like to enlighten you on when are you supposed to be meeting a counselor? Because we have a lot of parents, a lot of students who have this confusion. When and why should I go to a counselor? Next slide, ma'am. So the certain reasons why you have to go is if you want to share an experience of feeling, if you are just feeling upset or lonely about something, if you feel stressed, angry, frustrated, if you want to improve your grades, how can I study better? How can I function, or how can I create a routine into my life? If you want to talk about colleges and careers, relationship with family, with friends, with teachers, or any conflicts that you have, personal issues like loss of loved one or any concern that is happening at home that is really disturbing the child, or any kind of, if the parents themselves need any kind of guidance or assistance regarding their children, or when you just feel like it, you are always welcome. Now, talking about the major areas, like I mentioned to you, we have counseling and we have special education. Under counseling, we have academic counseling, career counseling, and behavioral. Now, in academic counseling, if a child feels like I am trying to study, but I'm not able to get the marks, or I'm not able to write my whatever I have learned in paper, then there is something or some issue with their way of learning. So when they come to us, we try to understand them better and we generate something like a timetable, and we try to figure out what kind of learning style they have, whether it is visual learning or auditory learning, or most of our children have reading and writing as their best way of learning. So we try to analyze that and help the child. Talking about career, we try to deal with what all subjects. Now, when the children move to grade 9, it is important for them to realize that by the time they reach grade 11, they have to pick their subjects. And in order to pick subjects that you really wish to go ahead with, you need to get the score that is meeting the criteria for each science, commerce, or humanities. And for that, from grade 9 onwards, your marks are counted. So it's important for you to take it a little more seriously and function accordingly. Make sure you're able to score marks, you're able to find out what is the right career that is suitable for you. And we also, this is for the higher grades, we help them in university application, any kind of communication with universities, recommendation letters, essay writing, SOP, etc. Just one more add-on here. We also have something called as the transcripts. So each child, when they move out of the school, on request, they get a transcript of the entire marks from grade 9 to 12. And based on that, their admission criteria in most of the colleges are considered. So it's important for you from grade 9 to be at your best performance. And lastly, we have personal and social concerns. Any concerns related to family, related to school, your friends, your teachers, you can approach us and we will help you out. And in each of these cases, you can either refer yourself or you can inform your teachers, or the teachers can come and tell us, the parents can come and inform us, or even any other peer or a friend can come and talk to us about it. Next slide, ma'am. Talking about special education, we have certain areas that we assist with. So we conduct observations in different classrooms, and if we feel like a child needs, or if a teacher feels like a child needs some kind of an assistance, they inform us, after which we, after taking permission from the parents, conduct an informal assessment to see if the child is having a learning gap or if the child genuinely has some kind of a concern where an assistance is required. And following which, we do help these children with individual exam support. We have one-to-one where we sit with the children, or we try to help the child do the exam in a better manner. And like I mentioned to you, when the child is moved to grade 9, automatically they are initiating with their board years. So we have something called as the CBSE exemption and concession. If we find the child has a genuine concern, and once CBSE approves of it, the child gets extra time and the change of 2 subjects that the child finds difficult to study. And instead of that, they take a lighter subject. So this assistance is provided only if we feel, CBSE feels that the child needs genuine help. And lastly, there are external references, any kind of therapy that is not provided within the school. We give you the details, so it becomes easier for you to approach whomever we give the details about, and you can take assistance accordingly. We also have parent individual sessions where parents come in and we try to help them understand the progress of the child. Next slide, ma'am. Now, what any child or any student talks about stays within the counseling room. It is not discussed amongst the counselors, nor is it discussed with the teachers or the higher authorities. But if we feel like somebody is hurting you, or upsetting you in any manner, or you want to hurt yourself, you want to hurt someone, or if you give us the permission to share with someone, then we will step in and we will inform. Because these are all certain crisis areas that has to be dealt with at the right time. So that is taken under consideration. And like I mentioned, only once the child gives the permission, we speak about it. Next slide, ma'am. Now, how can you talk with your counselor or special educator? Number 1 is through online referral. So if you can see, once you log into our ISWK website, we have a tab called Able. Once you select that tab, you can go into the page and we have something called referral forms where you can fill it, and then the details come to us and we get back to you. This is number 1. Number 2 is you can send emails to any of the counselors, and based on the age group or the counselor dealing with that age group, we take it up and we get back to you. And the third one, the child in any kind of a situation can also walk in after taking permission from their class teacher or the respective subject teacher that is there in the class. Next, ma'am. These are some of the events that were conducted in the last year and the beginning of this year. We have autism awareness programs. We had different career guidance sessions. We had a week long of World Mental Health Week where we conducted various activities. We had walkathon for teachers, and we made sure that every aspect, we also helped. There were sessions given to parents, teachers, and students. So at every level, we came down and we dealt with all the areas or all categories that are there. And also, there were a lot of other events that we conducted for the special needs students and many other, like we had the Joy of Giving, where we collected gifts during December for Christmas, and we had given it to Cancer Association, or we donate it. So these were the different events that were conducted by Team Able. And next, I would like all of you to meet our team. We have Mrs. Rashmi Patankar. She is heading the team. She is the special educator and counselor. We have Mrs. Rohini and Miss Amal. They are dealing with the KG primary block. And myself and Miss Shamita are dealing with the senior school block. We also have Mrs. Anchal, who is dealing with ISWKI. And lastly, these are our email IDs. So for anything, you can please contact us through the email IDs, or like I mentioned, you can fill the referral form and get back to us. So that was about it. Thank you very much. And I hope I have been able to give you an insight about the department and the services that we provide to our parents and our students. And I would now like to invite Mrs. Roshni, Head of the Department English, to enlighten us about the department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Neha. That was a wonderful presentation. Moving on, dear parents, I welcome you on behalf of the Department of English. Anju ma'am? Yes. So dear parents, as you know, English is a subject that our children study right from the beginning. It's a core subject. However, not much importance is given to the subject. So what happens is that children, because they are not focused, they tend to score less marks, whereas they can actually score very high marks. So I will guide you on what is to be done and how you as parents can help us to, help our children score better, and also participate in various activities that we conduct. Next slide. The overall aims of studying English: to build greater confidence and proficiency in oral and written communication. Of course, this is the lingua franca. This is the language of communication all across the world. So it is very important for our students. It's imperative that they have fluency in this subject. Once they are fluent in speaking and writing English, half the job is done, whether it's an interview, whether they have to write a letter or an application, job application, their work becomes much easier. To enable learners to communicate effectively and appropriately in real life situations, develop sensitivity to and appreciation of world literature. So they study literature lessons which are written by Indian writers who write in English, or Indian writers who have written in their mother tongue, which have been translated into English, or of course, American writers, European writers, African writers. So they get a plethora of, and the flavor of the writing from different cultures, different customs all across the world. To develop and integrate the use of language skills, which is the most important thing. The 4 important skills in any language are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So they have to be fluent in listening. When they listen, we have special activities for listening, where they listen to, BBC News or recordings or podcasts, and then they have to actively participate and answer questions. Speaking, of course, apart from their day-to-day speaking, we can involve them, and we do involve them in, interviews, in debates, elocution, podcasts. So various activities are conducted to hone their skills. Reading and writing is, of course, there. That is imperative. and of course, to reinforce and revise the structures already learned. Now, dear parents, according to the new education policy, the structure, the education structure that we have is 5 + 3 + 3 + 4, which is what I mean to say is that the last stage, which is the secondary stage, the first one is called the foundational stage, then the preparatory stage, middle stage, and your child falls in the stage, which is the secondary stage, and it begins in grade 9. So I want to reiterate the importance of grade 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12 is one stage together. So whatever we teach now is important for the board classes, for class 10, 11, 12. So it is very important again that our children listen to the classes, they attentively attend all the lessons, and they practice what the teachers give. Now, coming to the assessment pattern, as Sir has already informed you, we have the internal assessment, 20%, and theory examination, which comprises of 80% of the marks. Yes, next, ma'am. Now, the types of questions according to the latest specifications of CBSE, you can see the question types and the weightage. So this is for the final paper. This is not for the pre-midterm paper, which is just of 30 marks. This is for mainly for the, the full length paper, which we have. Okay, and that would comprise of competency focused questions in the form of MCQs, case-based questions, source-based integrated questions, or any other type. That comprises 50% of the paper. Next, we have the select response type questions, MCQs again, 20%, and constructed response questions. That means the short answer and long answer type questions, 30% of the paper. So all these different types of questions are important, and we are giving practice in the class. In our worksheets also, we will give examples of such questions, because now the question paper pattern is changing. As you know, it is more competency based. It is not something, where children could mug up and memorize and just answer the questions. They have to really understand the text. And we keep telling the children for English, they don't have to look for extra resource material. What we provide them is more than enough. But the text is like their Bible or Gita or Quran. They should know it from cover to cover. So each and every word in the text is important, because they are getting questions based on vocabulary, figures of speech, reasoning and assertion. So all these questions are very, very important, for which they need to know the text well. Next, ma'am. Now, for the internal component, as for any other subject, we have these components: multiple assessment, 5 marks, periodic test, 5 marks, portfolio, 5 marks, and subject enrichment activity, 5 marks. That makes up the 20 marks for the internal component. Next, ma'am. The assessment strategies proposed by Central Board of Secondary Education, the pen on paper test, multiple assessment strategies like quizzes, oral tests, visual expressions, etc. For portfolio, they will be assessed on their classwork, homework, peer assessment, reflections, narrations, etc. And for subject enrichment for classes 9 and 10, we usually have listening and speaking skills, which we call ASL in short. Next. This is the written paper out of 80. The weightage for each section. So we have for reading, we have 20 marks, grammar, 10 marks, writing again, 10 marks, and the maximum, the weightage goes to literature. And, that makes it easier for the students, because the literature lessons are all from the text. They have to read them well, understand, and then anybody can do well in the literature section. The reading and grammar is where it's unseen, and children need to practice a lot. And even the writing section, we give ample practice in class. They need to practice those and do the work given to them regularly. Next. This is just, a request to you parents. Please ensure that your ward attends classes regularly. If they have to go for any house duty or any other errands, they should find out what they have missed and complete their notes, so that they are ready for the next day's class. So there's no gap in between. And keep checking the messages sent by school regularly, please. Books prescribed, you already know the books. Your ward would be in possession of these books now. Moments, Words and Expression, that's the workbook, and Beehive. Next, ma'am. So we are posting our worksheets on our school website as well as on the ERP system, the MCP. So you can find them on the school website and also on the ERP system. Yes. Next. Now, these are my facilitators who are quite experienced teachers, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Mr. Shahnawaz Khan, Mrs. Sandra Omen, and Mrs. Kanchanlata Srivastav. So any problem regarding English, they should first meet their English teacher. And if they want to participate in anything, elocution, we will soon have a selection for the editorial team. So for any such reason, first point of contact would be the English teacher. And then the English teacher, we would collect the names from the respective teachers and conduct the selections. Now, as JP sir has already informed you, we have art integration, which is an important component. Again, right from primary classes to class 12, we have one project based on art integration. So we have either comic strips or storyboard, travel brochures, restaurant reviews, elocution. So all these are different types of art integrated projects. And the next slide will show you one such project. It was based on a state. So we worked on Sikkim and children made wonderful presentations on Sikkim, the art and culture, food, tradition, attire, everything. So they come to know more about their roots, their own country. Next. This is, feather in the cap of the English department and ISWK. Bhavya Prasad, 4th rank in the International English Olympiad. So she's now in grade 10. Last year, she bagged the 4th rank. Second, next one. Last year, again, we participated in an inter-school, skit competition, which was called the ACT International Skit Competition. It was online, but students of class 9 participated, 8, 9, 10. And again, we got the judges prize for it. We also participate in various initiatives of CBSE, like the Reading Challenge, Expression Series. Next. Apart from that, we have our own inter-house English elocution competitions, English debate competition, and this is the inter-school competition Ambassadors Polemic Challenge, in which last year, I'm very happy to tell you that our students won the overall prize, both for and against we won. And this year, again, a good news, we are going to host this mega event. Yes, next. We also have an inter-school event organized by us. It's called Lingua Viz, which is again on the way. Preparations are in line for that. Next. We have, as sir told you, about the gavel clubs. So we have various gavel clubs and children participate and they improve their, and this is basically a self-learning process. Here, no one trains the children. They learn on their own. They prepare their own speeches. They get different roles. So if someone is not delivering a speech on a particular day, he gets some other roles, like he's either a grammarian or he's the word master. So he suggests a word for the day. And like that, each one gets a role. So they get leadership qualities and they also become good speakers. Next. We have a podcast team also, and very soon we'll come out with the first podcast for this academic year. Apart from that, we anchor all our students and teachers, guide them in anchoring in various school programs, Independence Day, Republic Day, Investiture Ceremony, Founders Day. Next. So that's all from the Department of English. Kindly check your child's notebook every day, check what is being done. If notes are incomplete, again, when we give them some writing assignment, we face this problem. They start the assignment only 1 or 2 lines and then they stop. The next day when we ask for the notebook, it's still at that stage. It has not, gone further after that. Maybe only the first paragraph has been written. So, they run out of ideas or whatever it is. So kindly, maybe if you get some time, sit with your ward and help them complete the written work, because, once they lose interest, it becomes difficult. So they should complete their work, get it checked by the teacher, get to know where, they are not doing well, which areas they need to improve. It could be, their fluency, it could be their use of vocabulary, it could be anything. So they please help them, with us. As we said, teamwork makes a dream work. We want your help in this respect. And finally, just to end on a lighter note, that punctuations are very important with SMS language and, all the social media that our children are always involved in. They are forgetting their punctuation, capital letters, commas, full stops. So here is just one example how commas can save lives. So if you don't put the comma after let's eat grandma, it would be as good as eating or swallowing your grandma. So let's not do that. Put a comma and save lives. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite the head of the Department of Social Science, Mr. Krishna Gutti. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshni ma'am. Very good evening to one and all present here in this session. Myself, Krishna Gutti, heading the Department of Social Science. Let me introduce my team of teachers. Mrs. Gurjinder Kaur and Mr. Paul Dominic teaching geography. Mrs. Preeta and Mrs. Sumati and Mrs. Anandida teaching history and civics. Mrs. Zanila and Mrs. Shasia teaching economics in class 9. We are following NCERT textbook. There are 4 textbooks: history, democratic politics, geography, and economics. Economics is a new subject they are learning in this year, class 9. Next. Already discussed, already our vice principal also told, and Roshni ma'am also told to you, internal assessment weightage is 20 marks and theory paper is 80, total comes 100 marks paper in the final examination. Next. We are in the course of teaching in classroom. We are doing many activities along with the classroom learning teaching process. These are some of the activities we are doing in classroom itself. And our vice principal told you many new initiatives are introduced by CBSE in this year. Next, ma'am. One is multidisciplinary project, new initiative, and the one we are seeing in the slide, that is before disaster management project. This is compulsory for all the children for many years as grading project. The new initiative is multidisciplinary project, art integrated activity in class 9 and 10. These activities we are doing in classroom itself, not giving us holiday assignment or anything. The activity based on disaster management will be doing as activity on vacation. And the other activity, multidisciplinary activity that we are doing in the classroom itself, we are not disturbing any of the study time of the children. We are doing the class itself. That was the new initiative. The next one, case study questions, as sir mentioned. Without reading textbook, children can't answer any question based on case study. Case study means they are giving a small paragraph in the question paper. Based on that, there will be 3 questions. Without reading textbook carefully, children can't answer that. That is why everyone told to you, requested to you, make sure your child is reading the textbook every day. Next one. This is the art integrated activity project, which I told you now. This will do in classroom itself in the course of teaching as a group work. Next. We are doing so many activities throughout the academic year. The first one is Ambedkar Jayanti. The next, under the able guidance and support from our principal and vice principal, our school only, the one and the only school, Wadi Kabir, started a mega inter-school event called WK-MUN, Wadi Kabir Model United Nations Assembly Meeting. Last 8 years, we are successfully conducting that. And in this, all the schools, even the interior schools also coming to attend, participate in this program of 2 days. We are providing accommodation for them, the faraway interior school students, along with their teachers. We are the one and the only school conducting this mega event for the last 8 years. Yes. Some photographs. The next one, the Constitution Day celebration in the month of November. This is a program. The children should aware what is the value of our Constitution. Why India came to be called as the biggest democratic country in the world. That all are explaining in this program by our principal and vice principal. Next. All these programs ending with a successful way only because of your support and cooperation. Whatever support and cooperation you are extended to our school for the betterment of our children, the same we are expecting in coming future years also. Together we work, we can achieve so many good things. We can make our children more and more intellectual to compete, to survive in this growing world. I have a humble request to all the parents. Feel free to call or to meet any teacher regarding any queries. That only I am expecting from all the parents. Thank you all. Thank you for attending this. Now I request Mr. Sanjit Das, the HOD of Social Science, to take over the session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Putti, Head of Department Social Science. Very good evening, dear parents, Principal Sir, Vice Principal, and my dear colleagues. I am Head of Department of Mathematics. Let me introduce to my faculty members who will be dealing with class 9th. Mrs. Arsha, Mrs. Sharol, Mrs. Sheena, Mrs. Shiji, and Mrs. Sunita. These are the 5 mathematicians who will be taking care of your child in this academic year. The right side book, which you see, the latest publication, we will be following. There are a couple of rationalized portions is incorporated in that. And in case you wish the child should know a little more, apart from the classroom, though we are giving everything in the class, there is one more book which is available on the NCERT website. You can download it. This book has higher order thinking questions, which is very important as they are into the secondary and senior secondary arena. And with the latest CBSE changes. The examination pattern over the few years has a lot of changes, gradual changes they are making in line with the other foreign universities and schools, and keeping in view the various competitive examination. So they are making it both objective and descriptive type questions. So this is our internal adjustments and CBSE's how they have directed to all the CBSE schools. The latest change, which my colleague has already explained to you, but still, just have a look on the academic session 23 and 24. The competency-based questions were 40%. They have increased 10%. That is in terms of your case-based questions or some kind of source or integrated question. Maybe it can be a mix of 2-3 topics, or they may bring up with some other subject related to mathematics. And then you have objective type question, the new name, it has come response type questions. And then from 40%, they have reduced descriptive to 30%. That's the new changes for 23, 24 for 9th onwards. And specifically, this is for 9th and 10th. In case you want to see the curriculum, you just go to CBSE academic site and you can see the red color arrow curriculum. You click it. The moment you click, you will come to the curriculum for academic year 23-24, and you will get the full portion, though this is available on our school website as well. The subject enrichment activities, there are a couple of things. Apart from there is a CBSE prescribed book, around 10 activities minimum will be doing in this course of that is 23-24. One of is shown here. This is an example, mathematics relay activity, which we have already performed, which helps the students to develop the mathematical attitude, competitiveness, and develop team spirit. The biggest achievement of the maths department, many students, we identify, some qualify for various topmost examination all over the world. One of them, which conducted by the CBSE for grade 8, 9, and 10. All the students participate, and the top 3 qualifies for the final round. In the final round, out of those 3, 2 of our students secured the top 100th position. That means the percentile, they don't say 1, 2, 3. So the top 100th position is one Shashwat Singh and Syed Farhan Ahmed. They all come under Delhi region. So this is the certificate which they received. And grade 9 to grade 12, we team up to send a couple of students. This time it was offline and we had sent them to Mumbai. This particular quiz kind of thing, not exactly quiz, in collaboration with University of Waterloo and Aditya Birla World Academy. The names is projected. A couple of them are from grade 11 and 10 and 9th standard. So this is their capacity to think out of the box, and then they qualify for this particular tournaments. The important websites which you should follow, apart from our ISWK, Oman.com, CBSE.gov.in, CBSEacademic.in, and NCERT.nic.in. You will get wide range of papers, the latest changes. So keep yourself updated. That will help both the parties, parent and the students. To excel, practice, practice, and practice more. The more you write, the more better it will be. Reason, though it seems very easy that the paper is changing into a lot of MCQ questions, but all the MCQ question is not direct. You have to solve. Some question goes more than 2 to 3 minutes. Must review errors by solving the question again, not going over it. Understand the important concept of the mathematics, because more concepts are there for cracking those MCQ questions and case-based questions. Work from a study environment free of distraction so that you can concentrate on a particular question. Create your mathematical term and formula dictionary. Every student has their own logic to find a perfect algorithm to solve a particular question. Connect mathematics to real-world problem. Again, these are source-based and case-based concepts. Thank you so much and happy mathematics doing. Wish you good luck to everyone. Let me invite Head of Department Science, Mrs. Jennifer. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all present here. Thank you, Sanjit sir. So moving on to the Department of Science, on behalf of the department, I am Jennifer Robinson, will be presenting the insight of how we are going to move about learning science in class 9. We can move forward. So what is the science subject? It is an essential subject, no doubt. There's a lot of hands-on skills involved, and we always follow that with real experiments. We plan for field trips, and there are a lot of virtual reality also going on. But at the same time, a happy learning is definitely noticed. Let me introduce my team members. Since science is a branch of, we have physics, chemistry, biology. Right from the physics area, Mr. William, Mrs. Anu Matthew, Mr. Randhir, Mrs. Vivid, and Ms. Priyanka. Similarly, from the subject chemistry, we have Mrs. Janisha, Mrs. Jasmine, Mrs. Asha, Mrs. Shiny, and Mr. Praveen. From the biology, we have Mr. Gerard, Mrs. Ranjana, Mrs. Shrija, Mrs. Arunima, and Mrs. Reena Prashant. So we all together will be dealing with 3 subjects: physics, chemistry, and biology. Now, so here you can see how we have divided the teachers in different subjects. And there is always a teacher in charge also for every section, like 9A. You can find, I have distributed like that. And these details will be available for you for further reference also. Yes, ma'am. Moving on to the science textbook. We have the NCERT textbook as the most important one, followed by, we have a practical notebook also. So this practical textbook goes hand in hand. Like I will be going further with, I'm making you understand the practical skills that are available, but these 2 books are connected together. Apart from that, for good practice, there is science exemplar problems available. You can definitely download from the website and do it. The entire course structure is designed for 23-24, which is exactly as per the CBSE pattern. And here are the units and the marks allotted is mentioned. When we say matter, it is dealing with chemistry portion. Organism and living organism is fully with, or living world is fully with biology. Then we have motion, force, work with physics. And food production also deals with biology. There are some general chapters also, which is being tested. So altogether, we have 80 marks for that, and followed by the internal assessment throughout the year. Yes, ma'am. The general instruction, if you really notice, in different forms, you have already received the information. We have for 5 marks, there will be 3 periodic tests, PMT, that is pre-midterm, post-midterm, and so on, and midterm. Apart from that, we have portfolio, subject enrichment, and laboratory skills to be tested. So like that, according to what CBSE has given the guidelines, we will be following the same for this year. Yes, ma'am. The theory structure is already designed by us. That is, we call it as year plan. It's already designed. I've just shown you a sample of it for the month of April. You can see that these portions are moving on. Then in the month of May and so on till the next year, it has been completely planned by us. And what worksheets we will be preparing, what will be our evaluative activity, what will be our hands-on skill in the classroom. So everything is designed well in advance to see that every child is benefited by this way. Thank you. Next slide. Yes. Then we have the lab work. And here I wanted to point out one important thing, that there are 11 experiments. So all these experiments are designed and given by the CBSE. We will be following that. And at the same time, every unit will have its own list of experiments. Like you can see there mentioned unit 1. So right now, if matter in our surrounding is going on, this is a practical thing that we will be dealing in our labs. So like that, every chapter, there is some practicals involved, which we will be doing simultaneously. Yes, ma'am. So we have almost like 4 labs, I should say, the physics lab, chemistry lab, then we have biology lab, and also sometimes we take the help from the junior science lab. So all these 4 labs are fully equipped, and I should say that we are the only school having digital microscope, which is really useful for children to learn about cells, tissues, and so on. We have a well-equipped physics lab also, where different components are available. Hands-on skills are excellently performed in the chemistry lab and also in the junior science lab. Sometimes the teachers, they may take the material to the classroom, and where the demonstration is also done for them. Yes, ma'am. So moving on to the question paper pattern. The question paper pattern is definitely new for the last few years. We can see that for the last 3 years, if you see, the paper is completely changed. And what is a good thing is, like, we have been training right from class 6 in the same way. Since the class 8 children have come to class 9, definitely they know the components that are available in science. We maintain the worksheets also in that same fashion so that they get an idea. As per the CBSE pattern of that year, we modify the worksheets also. So this is a new pattern that you find. And here case study plays a very important role for us, where a lot of theory, big paragraphs are given, and the children have to read that, understand, and then answer to the question. So in the worksheets, we implement all these type of questions, and it will be a good training for children. And as English ma'am told that reading is something very important, I would like to quote here. Here in science, reading science article is also so important, so they understand by the time they answer to the questions. So here we find different components I have mentioned below, and there is always some internal choices also to select the questions and so on, which is again some percentages mentioned by the CBS. Yes, ma'am. Our question paper definitely doesn't focus on one side. It is always focused on demonstration, the knowledge-based question, understanding-based question. So when there are questions like list, identify, define, suggest, describe, outline, summarize, all these come under knowledge-based. So we should know how to study those areas. The teachers definitely will be training the children. And then we have application-based, like calculate, illustrate, then adapt, explain, distinguish. These are the very famous questions of science. Then followed by, there are, the new pattern is now evaluate, interpret, compare. There is a table given, and you have to compare the data, discuss, and so on. So all these training will be done through worksheets and daily lessons and and definitely the students will be well focused. Always our paper making is also in that way. Sometimes children think that it is a difficult paper, it's an easy paper. It's not like that. We always follow what CBSE says. There is 46% of knowledge and understanding, 22% of application. And apart from that, as I told you, the case studies, we have around 32%. All put together, 100% is covered. And apart from that, on a daily basis, like as I told you in the year plan, we have already made a plan for the topics of internal assessment, which we will be following. Yes, ma'am. So this is already described by almost all the subjects. So I'm moving forward. The parameters for grading science, particularly we are focused on the notebook checking, which is a very important component for science subjects, particularly physics, chemistry, and biology. Then we have subject enrichment, which is purely lab-based. So here I wanted to tell it is different from different subjects. Like from social science, it is different, whereas subject enrichment for us, it is different. So we need to be careful. When we are talking about lab demonstration, children have to listen carefully, and then a questionnaire will be given where they have to answer, from which the scores are developed. Then portfolio is nothing but a booklet we maintain. A4 size sheets are maintained sometime, and that is tested at the end. Yes, ma'am. The rubrics for the notebook checking, that is index, diagram. The index is the first part, the best presentation, you can call it. Then home assignment should be done properly, neatness, punctuality. When there is a deadline given, we should see that we are trying our best to give it. But definitely there is always consideration, but we should be punctual in our work. The criteria for the lab activity, if you see, we have to write the aim, apparatus, all these things will be time to time guided by the teachers to the children. So in all the subjects like physics, chemistry, and biology, and at the end, there will be an oral test also. So you can expect this kind of training happening in the science lessons. Yes, ma'am. Portfolio is a collection of work, and we will be involving in that. If you see, I have just written the components, what you are presenting to us, what you listen. Like we have a lot of research work here. That's what I should say. The latest development, like take the example of plastic, then why plastic is good or bad, all those things you have to research and then come up. It's not just an internet material that you present to it. You have to study the material, understand, and present in your own way. So for which the scores are developed or evaluated. So you call them as science projects. Then we have the worksheet components. If you see, as I informed before, we follow as per the question paper pattern. You will find MCQ here. Sometimes the questions which are coming for the final exam will be introduced there. The graph-based questions will be there. Yes, ma'am. You also have assertion and reasoning, diagram-based question, very short answers, long answers. Everything will be tested, which is a good training, because nowadays I'm seeing children paying attention to the worksheet question has become little minimum. We don't want that to happen. This is the best platform where you answer to the question. Maybe a weekend you can take the paper and try to answer to these questions. It is a very good practice for you. Like practice is something so important so that you become stronger and you lay a good foundation for class 10. Yes, ma'am. So we also depend on our teaching tools. We make the class interesting in the form of experiment. We depend on OLabs. We depend on graphic organizers, and the pedagogical plan is already made. And what we are going to do, we will definitely focus, and there won't be much deviation in our plan. Yes, ma'am. So KWL, you must have seen in the classwork, the first thing that we follow is KWL, which gives a nice recap of the previous topics that they have studied. And definitely there is group discussion in the classroom. Then we make them do concept mapping in class 8. I'm sure these children had a good training in concept mapping. So that is something very useful for correlating in the mind, how to connect the science subjects and study well. Yes, ma'am. So moving on to the art integration here, even in science, we have that, and the topic is given by CBSE, and we stick to that topic. Like ma'am told about Sikkim, we followed that. And apart from that, for good training purpose, we ourselves come up with new ideas. Like for example, recently we had Earth Day. So we make the children to do poster making. And later on, we have World Environment Day. So on those days, how to involve your science attitude in the form of art, we give them a training in that. Yes, ma'am. Moving on to the competitions that are available in science. These are different type of competitions. So let me move forward. So Synergy is something, a very important inter-school competition of science department. We all together work for this particular program, and inter-school around 13 or 14 schools participate, and they come up with a lot of idea. Last time it was a science startup idea was given to the children, and they came up with new ideas, how to save the environment and so on. So a lot of learning happens on this platform when they participate in such competitions. Yes, ma'am. So apart from that, we also have STI competition, and also sometimes Oman comes up with some sustainability fair, which we participate, and we try to excel in that. Yes, ma'am. So school also gives, particularly the department follows certain very important competitions which are not in the curriculum, like astronomy is not in our curriculum, but we focus on that in the form of participating in the STEM and space. Sometimes the National Astronomy Challenge. And yesterday, our children received the award at Delhi. I'm very proud to inform you all about it. Yes, ma'am. So we have science editorial team. We have already released 5 edition of Cosmos. And this time also we will be calling. It is always, I would like to thank the entire class 9 students of last year who helped us along with our teachers to make this particular science magazines to be released. Most of the time, it is only the science class 9 children who be with us, and they work to see that it is published in time. So I thank you on this platform. Then we have mobile robotics, which is something another out of the box actually from the Department of Science. We don't have as a subject, but physics, chemistry, even biology is involved if you see when we participate in such workshops. Yes, ma'am. So these are some of the some more activities that we develop for astronomy interest. Yes, ma'am. Then we just please, can you move forward, previous slide? And here you can see a particular demonstrating the innovative club activities which children are watching. This demonstration is also done. This is a basic and foundation hands-on skill that we give in our labs. Yes, ma'am. Eco Club activities is another important part of our department, where they give awareness to the environment. Actually, they start loving the plants, and it is again taken care by our class 9 students very well. Yes, ma'am. So we do a lot of remedial measures for the children, and all these internal papers are available in our website itself, in our school website. Apart from that, our teachers will be posting in the MCP portal time to time. Yes, ma'am. So what as parents we request is to keep a check on the science notebooks, definitely, and the children have to do their home assignment. We are not giving plenty of home assignments. It's only 2 questions or 3 questions after completing a particular topic. And I want every child to work on that so that it is a good practice, and definitely attend to all the parent-teacher meets. So with that, I'm ending with the science and moving on to some of the inputs in French also, which is almost similar to science, but I would like to focus more on the components of the question paper. Yes, ma'am. So I would like to introduce the French faculties here, Mrs. Bala Shivapriya and Mrs. Seema Ghosh. They both are handling class 9 French. So this is a book available online, and it is also available in our school website. You can download anytime, and it is available in the stores in the form of a spiral binding book, which can be utilized for reading purpose. Apart from that, this is the online which I told, and then we have a reference book. This French reference book is very useful because it gives a lot of practice for us, and we take questions, similar question, and design it in the worksheets also, which is again a platform. Actually, this French whatever you're studying now, it's going to be very useful for class 10 to excel very well. So I want all my class 9 children to please practice the French exercises and so on. Yes, ma'am. So year plan is already done, which will be available. So I'm not going to explain on this. We have focused on the speaking skills, listening skills, reading skills, writing skills, all are focused in our day-to-day activities that we design for French. Yes, ma'am. The question paper pattern is over here, which is similar to science, objective and the subjective type is always taken care. And these are some of the reading section, writing section, grammar section. Everything is already designed by CBSE. What we need to do is spread that for the whole year and teach the concepts. And then we have here the topics or the chapters also designed. There are many other chapters also in the textbook, but these are the chapters that we need to focus for this year as per the CBSE guidelines. Yes, ma'am. The components of the question paper is something very important. You have section A with 10 marks. Section B is a creating one, which is creative writing, which is again 10 marks. The application-based questions, which is nothing but grammar for us in this area, but it is called as application. And then finally, we have remembering and analyzing type of questions, which is in the form of MCQ, true or false, match the following, fill in the blanks, and so on. Yes, ma'am. The classwork and homework checking is something, again, an important criteria in French subject, where the components are mentioned, how we will be checking them and evaluating. Yes, ma'am. So these are some of the activities that we take up: role play, dialogue writing, model making, concept map, group discussion, photo album. Photo album is connected with the art integration. Yes, ma'am. So these are some of the samples of art integration. So you can see here about environment, they have drawn and they have labeled it in French. So this is how they learn, and it is really a happy learning for them. And children retain all these terms very well by these activities. Yes, ma'am. Some of the competitions of French. We have French Fiesta, Francomania, which is a quiz competition of inter-school. Then French Olympiad is already in the pipeline. Every day you can hear the announcement. And I want more participation from class 9 children in this regard. Yes, ma'am. So podcast, we too have it, but since being a foreign language, in a small scale, we are trying with our children, but definitely they will improve their speaking skills and they can become a part of this particular event. Yes, ma'am. We also have poetry competitions sometimes. So children come up with their poetry recitation and they excel actually. They do their pronunciation very well and a lot of training. There is a collaboration between the teacher and the student. They correct the pronunciation for them so they become good in speaking skills also. Yes, ma'am. Our teachers are also resource person in certain area. They go to online, they speak to other teachers also. In that way, exchange of thoughts happen, and that is getting implemented in our classroom learning. Yes, ma'am. These are some of the remedial measures, which is common for both science and French. So here you can see, I have already informed you all about it. Yes, ma'am. Some of the positive do's and not to be done by the parents, when we keep on, when we get thinking that it is going to be board exam next year, we start becoming really conscious about it. So try to avoid that in a slow and a very moderate pace. If they work and get into the science subjects and French, it will be good for us. And that will give them a good goal setting also. And do not allow them to be most of the time in mobiles. That you can take care for a longer period of time. Moving on further. So these are some of the points which we want to say. There are more to say in one full year. Definitely our children will learn the best. I'm signing off saying that any queries or anything you can write to us, to the science teachers and also French teachers. And thank you so much for listening to me. Now I call upon the head of the department, Hindi, and Mr. Anil sir is here and he will be giving you details on Hindi, Sanskrit and Arabic. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Jennifer. Good evening, one and all. let me introduce my team first. Next, please. These are the teachers who are teaching Hindi in class 9. Mr. Sushil Sharma, Mr. Kailash Patro, Mrs. Naushad Feroz, and Mr. Ram Keval. These all teachers are well experienced and expert in their subject. Next, please. These are the books we are following in class 9 Hindi, prescribed by NCERT. Sparsh is the main book, Sanchayan is the supplementary book, and one support book is there, Vyakaran Parichay. Next, please. These are the components of the question paper of class 9. Part A is 40 marks, MCQ type, and part B is carrying 40 marks again, but writing part, descriptive type of questions. So total 80 marks. Next, please. Like other subjects, internal assessment is carrying 20 marks, pre-midterm, multiple assessment, portfolio, and subject enrichment activities. Already discussed by other teachers, so I'm heads, so I'm not describing it again. Each one is carrying 5 marks. Next, please. We have some expectations from the students studying Hindi. Always learn by writing. If you learn language by reading, you will make many mistakes, spelling mistakes. And if you learn by writing, you will improve your writing speed and avoid the spelling mistakes too. Next, please. Refer your Hindi grammar book, because Hindi grammar book supports you in, especially in writing part. Next, please. Like students, we have some expectations from the parents also. Let us see what are that. Next, please. Never pressurize your children and don't overburden them, because they are already overloaded by many of the subjects. So in Hindi, most of the part we are teaching and we are helping them to learn in the classes only. We are not giving them heavy homework. So, but nowadays, many children are using some electronic devices, internet, laptop, mobile, etc. But monitoring is must. Hindi doesn't need anything like that, but you can monitor the child, but not like this mentioned in the photo. What do we provide? We provide notes, we provide question banks, we provide worksheets, previous year's papers, support book. We have a separate department library, and we are issuing the support book to the Hindi students for class 9 and 10. You can use it. Proper revision before the exam and remedial classes too. Next, please. Hindi department conducting various activities throughout the years, inter-school activities, inter-house activities, and other activities conducted by embassy and other CBSE too. So ask your children, encourage your children, motivate your children to participate in the activities. Before I end, I know Hindi is a difficult subject because many of the students are learning in a day only, not throughout the year. That is why they feel it is difficult. But I want to inspire them by quoting a few lines of that one famous poet is there, Pandit Sohan Lal Dwivedi. असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो. असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो. क्या कमी रह गई, देखो और सुधार करो. जब तक न सफल हो, जब तक न सफल हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम. संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम. कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती. कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. Thank you. And I invite Mr. Matthew Philip, Coordinator, Malayalam Department. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, dear parents and children. I am Matthew Philip, the coordinator of Malayalam. For every person, his first language is his mother tongue. Through that language, he understands the world for the first time. Through it, he learns about his culture and heritage. The mother tongue is not like other languages. It is the part of our identity. മാതൃഭാഷയുടെ ഈ മഹത്വം മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാണ് ദേശസ്നേഹികളായ കവികളും കലാകാരന്മാരും അതിന് ഏറെ പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകുന്നത്. കുഞ്ഞുണ്ണി മാഷ് ഇങ്ങനെ എഴുതുന്നു. മാഡം നെക്സ്റ്റ്. ആള് വളരാനും മാതൃഭാഷ വേണം, നാട് വളരാനും മാതൃഭാഷ വേണം, നേരറിയാനും നല്ലോണം ചൊല്ലാനും നേരാകും ഈ മാതൃഭാഷ വേണം. മലയാളികളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം മലയാളമാണ് മാതൃഭാഷ. നമ്മുടെ മാതൃഭാഷയെ, മലയാളത്തെ ചേർത്ത് പിടിക്കേണ്ടത് ഓരോ മലയാളികളുടെയും കടമയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് മലയാളം പഠിക്കാനും മലയാളം സെക്കൻഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജായി എടുക്കാനും കുട്ടികളെ നിർബന്ധിക്കണമെന്ന് വിനയത്തോടെ അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ് മാഡം. Now let me introduce the Malayalam teachers, Mr. Murugan, Mr. Pramod, Mrs. Anita and myself. We four are handling Malayalam in the main school at present. Next slide. These are the textbook the CBSE prescribed for class 9 this academic year. ഈ ബുക്ക് കേരള ബോർഡ് പ്രസിദ്ധീകരിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇത് ഓപ്പൺ മാർക്കറ്റിൽ വിലയ്ക്ക് വാങ്ങിക്കാനായിട്ട് ലഭിക്കില്ല. പക്ഷെ കേരള ബോർഡിന്റെ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൽ ഈ ബുക്ക് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് ആവശ്യമുള്ള ചാപ്റ്ററുകൾ നമുക്ക് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തെടുക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. These are the textbook link. It is already uploaded on MCB. Next one. These are the lessons included in the syllabus. The first 6 lessons are the main chapters and the last 4 are supplementary lessons. Only long answer questions will be asked from the supplementary lessons. Next one. This is the mark distribution of the question paper. The question paper is divided into 2 sections. Section A, reading comprehension, vocabulary building and MCQ. Section B, composition, literature. Total 80 marks. Internal marks 20, together 100 marks. This is the pattern of the question paper. Next one. These are the scholastic activities we are going to conduct this academic year for the internal mark. Next. These are the school activities we plan to do this year. Inter-house handwriting competition, inter-house quiz competition, inter-house Attapookalam competition, inter-house poetry recitation, and inter-school poetry recitation. These are a few photos of the activities we conducted in 2022-23. Next one, madam. These are the writers whose work is included in the syllabus. The information of these authors also very important. The questions will be asked from this section also. So it will be uploaded on MCB and on our website. Next one. These are the contact detail of the Malayalam teachers. ഏത് സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ മെയിൽ ID കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫോൺ നമ്പറിൽ കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. Next one. This is the general information about Malayalam. ഈ സെഷൻ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന് മുമ്പായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് കുട്ടികളോടും രക്ഷിതാക്കളോടും അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കാനുള്ളത് എഴുത്തിന് കുറച്ചുകൂടി പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുക്കുക. അക്ഷരത്തെറ്റുകൾ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ധാരാളം ഉണ്ടാകുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് എഴുത്തിനും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വായനയ്ക്കും കൂടുതൽ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുക്കുക. എല്ലാ ദിവസവും അതാത് ലെസൺസ് അതാത് നോട്ട് വായിച്ച് പഠിക്കുക വളരെ അത്യാവശ്യമാണ് എന്നവർക്ക് അക്ഷരത്തെറ്റുകൾ ഒഴിവാക്കാനും സ്പീഡ് കിട്ടാനും എല്ലാം എഴുത്തും വായന കൊണ്ട് കഴിയുന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ എഴുത്തിന് കൂടുതൽ പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകണമെന്ന് വിനീതമായി അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു. Now I invite Mr. Jagadish, the HOD of Computer Science.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew. Very happy evening to lucky parents and lucky students. You may be surprised why I'm addressing students as lucky and parents as lucky, because students are getting future ready and parents are happy because your words are getting ready for the future. You are so lucky that the future is already in your hand. The artificial intelligence, it is introduced as a regular subject. It's no more a work experience, as our vice principal already informed you. Next. The pattern of the question paper is something new for all of you, because it is going to be this year onwards. And your examination details will appear in your examination timetable this year onwards, and from this midterm examination onwards. So theory marks will be of 30 marks and midterm theory marks will be 50 marks and the practical is 50 marks. Please note. And your final examination will be 50 marks of theory and 50 marks is practical, and duration of the examination is 2 hours. Okay, it's exactly similar to the CBSE pattern of class 10th. Next. Yeah, the syllabus is so brilliantly and excellently designed by the CBSE, I must say. It is not just informing you what is artificial intelligence. Started with Excite, and then how to relate it, and then how to implement it. May it be coding, simple coding, which is a user-friendly, and even they have taken care of ethics of coding. Superb. And I must say that you people are lucky enough to learn AI in class 9th. And further details of class 9th is carried forward in 10th, and 11th and 12th, you are going to learn a brief on Python programming language, which is must to know your machine learning, or it may be deep learning or NLP, or it can be your neural network. All the details you are going to learn in sequence. So ultimately, by the time you complete your class 12, you are ready to face the future. May you complete any degree, but degree doesn't matter as long as you are unleash your thinking, you are able to face the future with artificial intelligence. Next. Yeah, to know more about it, please visit the CBSE site. There is artificial intelligence as shown and highlighted here. You will get the complete information what AI is for class 9th. Next. Yeah, curriculum and question paper bank are very clearly given in the CBSE site. We want you all should visit and know what the curriculum is and what the question bank is. So curriculum is, as I mentioned, it is simply brilliant. The CBSE has designed so clearly and so helpful for the future of every child in the CBSE. Next, ma'am. Yeah. We do conduct the different talent hunt competitions in the school. So n number of competitions, we conduct AI Olympiad, we conduct coding Olympiads, and all kind of competition. Maybe it's a hardware competition or it may be a software coding designing. You are all welcome to participate in it. Only thing is you have to show those coding and projects to your respective teachers. You definitely will showcase in the IT talent hunt competition, which is conducted every year in the month of September. It's open to all the students of class 6 to 12. You can see here some of them are hardware projects. You can also see the AI implemented project is already shown, which is a blind stick, which tells the blind people that where is the next obstacle is. And then you have a software presentations also. So you can definitely participate in it. Now, apart from these school level competitions, we also take the competition outside the school, and the winners are, you can see here, they are not only the school level competitions. Apart from that, there are students who are the AI Olympiad winners and coding Olympiad winners. So now onwards, you're lucky enough to learn the subject and you can definitely enhance your coding skills as well as AI based skills. Yes, the teachers who are teaching class 9th artificial intelligence, Anu ma'am, Archana ma'am and Manju ma'am. You can refer to them if any kind of questions you want to know, whether it is competition in school or outside school or Olympiads. And any further details you want to know, you can visit me as a head of the department. Thank you, and over to HOD Physical Education. Madam.
Can you check with Premlata?
What happened, Pramita ma'am? Ma'am, you are, please unmute yourself, ma'am. Pramila.
I'm audible now?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, got it. So, the last good evening to everyone. This is the last presentation on behalf of the school. On behalf of Physical Education Department, we welcome you all for the orientation of physical education. Let me take the opportunity to introduce the team members of the department. Myself, Premlata Thakur, HOD Physical Education and in charge of table tennis. Mr. Vikas Dhokne, Coordinator of Sports Academy and in charge of athletics and skating. Ms. Vanita Shingare, Coordinator of Senior School and in charge of volleyball and throwball. And Mr. Shifaz Baba, PE Coordinator of Primary School and in charge of basketball and handball. Moving ahead, the male faculty members of Senior and Primary Wing and the game they are specialized in, we can see on the slide. Next is the female faculty members of Senior and Primary Wing and their specialization. Before we proceed, let me draw your attention towards the attire of the dressing pattern of the students. Boys are expected to turn up in a proper haircut with a clear forehead, gray trouser, short sleeve white shirt, calf length white socks. For girls, short hair should be properly tied in pony and plaiting for the long hairs. Gray pinafore, short sleeve white shirt with bloomers or black color tight or leggings. Next is black color sports shoes with laces and calf length white socks. Please mind, it should be calf length white socks, and it applies to both boys and girls and can be worn on both school as well as PE uniform. Next is a PE uniform. It is the house color t-shirt with school logo on left side in front and the house name at the back side with black color track pant with house color piping on the sides. Calf length white socks and leather black sports shoes with the laces, preferably laces. Proper hair pattern for the boys and girls, as you can see in the slide. Sample of the winter wear for boys and girls. Now, here we also look forward to seeing our students following the measures of hygiene, wellness, and safety by following the proper dress code and cleanliness. For doing so, we expect and look forward a major support from your side. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Anup and Mr. Nitish to brief you about the subject. Mr. Anup, please take over.
I'm audible.
Continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, dear parents. I'm Anup Gupta. In physical education planning, like every department, we also start with planning. The three main aspects of planning are events, activity, and academy. ISWK has been offering various games and sports activities The major aspect of our planning is the school games and sports activity for the year. It consists of intramural and extramural games and sports. The major and foremost aspect of our planning includes the school games and sports. Under this comes intramural and extramural events. Intramural games are games that take place in school, like PE classes and inter-house activities. Extramural games like inter-school competitions, CBSE national tournaments, which take place outside school. Keeping in mind the restriction of participating in various games and schools, and to provide an opportunity to other equally talented players, the school participates in various competitions and organizes open tournaments and other activities for children. It mentioned in inter-house cricket, altogether 8 teams participated this year in Oman cricket tournament in category under 13, under 16, under 19 and women's. And it has been proud to say that we started this year with a winning stream, which is ISWK under 19 boys, stood winners in MCC Max Talent Cricket Tournament 2023. Activities are the second major aspect that includes student participation in huge number with less competition is enlisted on the screen. You can see Khelo India, Fit and Run, Investiture Ceremony, International Yoga Day, Independence Day Parade, Oman National Day, Republic Day Parade, Sports Day Drill. It's a mass, huge student participate at a time. Khelo India was initiated by CBSE fitness program. Our third aspect to reach out to the student is the academy. In academy, various games and sports are conducted beyond school hours. The exciting feature for the academy is that it's not only for school children, but also for parents, staff, and all other sports lovers. The venue for conducting these activities are located in ISWK Senior, ISWK Primary, and ISWK International Schools. Academy plans and organizes various coaching camps. Coaching is part of our grassroots events at Sports Academy to help develop and promote sport talents in the region. Our mission is to provide excellent coaching of the highest quality with a competitive experience. Academy organized winter coaching camps in various games and swimming. Evaluation. The evaluation process is done session-wise internally by the concerned teachers, depending on the participation level and performance of the child. CBSE decided to mainstream health and physical education for class 9 to 12 with the aim of holistic development of child, leading to well-balanced and healthy individual in all walk of life. For any clarification or know more about games and sports, kindly feel free to reach us through the contact provided in ISWK website or the P teacher in charge. In conclusion, we would request all the parents to please encourage your children to participate in sports and games activities. We wish you all a healthy and a fruitful year. Thank you. I request HOD English, Roshni ma'am, to kindly take over.
Thank you, Mr. Anup. Dear parents, we hope this orientation session has been quite informative and helpful. We will upload the presentations for you if you want to check once again later on. Now, this session would be incomplete without the valuable inputs from our team leader, Mr. D.N. Rao, a visionary who does not lose sight of the school vision and motto, which is from darkness to light, till the goal is reached. Sir, it's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. And we have been getting some questions in the Q&A. If any of you would like to post some more questions, please feel free to do it. And Mr. Rao has already answered some of the queries. So please post your queries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Roshni. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Yes, sir.
Dear staff and students and parents, very good evening. Thank you on sparing your valuable evening time and joining our Class 9 orientation program. We hope that you have got required inputs through this orientation program. And we also place this recording of this orientation program on our school website, which is more interactive and informative, and also share through this our school ERP system. ISWK is the first Indian school in Oman to align with National Educational Policy and National Curriculum Framework at all stages of school education. Class 9 being a very important stage of every child, school education, as the students are going to face the CBSE board examinations in class 10, which is undergoing a series of reforms to make our education best in the world, especially focusing National Education Policy and National Curriculum Framework. Our Vice Principal, HODs, and ABLE department briefed about the various activities planned for our students and overall development of their profile building along with their academic profile. At ISWK, we are proud to offer and announce two types of scholarships. Earlier, we used to have the fee concession to certain needy parents, but this is not going well, and concession is not the appropriate initiative for school education. Education is not the commodity to offer any discount in that or any concession in that. Actually, students are supposed to earn the scholarship. Hence, we started a new initiative. One is a need-based scholarship that provides financial assistance to the students on need-based. For this, the main eligibility is if their parents have the income less than 500 Riyal, and they can furnish the required documents, maybe as per our website information. There is a circular on this. So after receiving the documents, the school management is going to review that application, and they will be granting the scholarship. That is need-based scholarship. Apart from the need-based scholarship, we also have merit-based scholarships based on academics, games and sports, and co-scholastic activities. I think only Indian school again offering this kind of scholarships, academics, games and sports, co-scholastic, and need-based. We believe that every student should have access to the best education and also opportunities, regardless of their financial situation. In addition to academic excellence, we also prioritize the safety and security of our students. Particularly these days, our students are exposed to a lot of online platforms. There is a danger that even some of the children are posting in their social media handles. My humble request to the parents, be watchful what the students are working on the computer or on a mobile device with internet access, particularly after 10 o'clock. So that means actually there is something which is not going to work in a proper direction. So be watchful on that. We have well-established school discipline procedures when we take every measure to ensure that our students feel safe and comfortable on campus. We believe that a secure and nurturing environment is essential for our students' success. We are committed to provide our students with holistic progress cards at the end of each semester to track their progress both academically and in extracurricular activities. The CBSE is now initiating that holistic progress card, which is going to be 360 degrees feedback. So not only academics and in all other activities also, how the child, even their health or other aspects are going to be covered in this. We believe that this approach will help our students to develop a well-rounded profile, which will prepare them for future success. We strongly encourage all our students to participate in as many activities as possible, including internships, to gain practical experience and exposure. The school is now planning to provide a lot of internship opportunities to our students from class 9 onwards. This they can take up during their summer vacation or during their winter vacation. Some of the internships are international internships, online internships, and some of the internships are local. And there are a number of people, the parent community in various sectors that are coming forward to offer internships. So this is a wonderful opportunity for our students. This will help them to build a strong profile and become well-rounded individuals equipped to face any challenges in the future. We believe that our school is the best choice for students who want to achieve academic excellence and become successful individuals in the future. ISWK is the school of choice and school of the future. We are committed to providing the best possible educational opportunities to our students, and we look forward to your unconditional support in achieving this goal. Thank you for your time and attention. If any questions are there, I am happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we have answered all the questions that have been posted.
Yeah, I think this is almost 2 hours long orientation program. Slowly the number is going down, but if they have any questions, they can post it. Otherwise, within 2 minutes, we can close the session.
Yes. In the meantime, may I ask our activity coordinator, Mr. Kailash Patro, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you so much. Respected principal, vice principal, head of the departments, coordinators, and parents. Respected teaching and non-teaching staff of our school, good evening to you all. I feel honored to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of our school and on my own behalf for this highly important orientation program. First, I would like to thank our principal and vice principal wholeheartedly for arranging, planning, and making this orientation successful. Your leadership is our lighthouse, and you lead us on the path to success. Further, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all the parents for sparing their valuable time and adding so much value to us. Your appreciation and suggestions will result in more success in our academic goals. We both are always together for the progress of our students. Next, I would like to thank our teachers and non-teaching staff for their active participation in making this orientation successful. You are the backbone of the school, and it is your success that our school management and parents appreciated your work. You have been constantly upgrading yourself to handle new challenges in the field of teaching and the use of modern technology in our school's teaching learning process. I would like to thank our speakers for giving us valuable guidance and innovative suggestions for improvement in our work. Thank you, one and all. Goodbye till we meet next again. May God keep you in His care.